Good morning. I'm Ayya Vimala, and today's Friday, May 21st. It is feeling like summer outside, so it's a good day. Yesterday I didn't do my time with you. I went to Madison to pick up my son who's visiting for the weekend, so that's been great. We realized, we were talking last night, it was the first time since the beginning of the pandemic that he's been here, and I think I've seen him maybe twice in that last over a year. So not very far away, but we were being very careful about it before we all got vaccinated, of being careful. So it's good to be back here, and I thought today would be a good day to practice together, and hope all of you are doing well and keeping balance in your life. The one thing that I feel fortunate about here so far, even going to a grocery store and picking up some medicine, I think at a Walgreens yesterday, noticing that the people working are wearing masks and the people in the stores seem to all still be wearing their mask. And so it doesn't feel overwhelming. It doesn't feel like suddenly everybody's just dropping the mask, and I think that would feel a lot more stressful. Even with the mandates dropped, people are making what to me is a good decision, wise decision. So it's good to see everybody, some familiar names. So let's practice together, and then if you can, get out and enjoy nature. Whatever it's gifting you with today or this evening, spend some time in it. It's really helpful. So why don't we practice just a tranquility meditation, and we can practice the metta towards the end. And whether it's evening or morning for you, it can help you get your thoughts collected and then let them go. Thoughts are up there in your head, and when we practice, we're not repressing thoughts, and we're not repressing emotions that arise. We're observing them. And with our thoughts, we're allowing them to come and then to let them go. And when you feel able to do it without getting distracted, you can also see feelings arise or emotions arise, and you can just notice that that's maybe anger arising, or sadness, or joy, or anything that arises mentally. You can just notice it and then let it go. And that's beginning to be a little bit of working with insight. But first we need to learn to have a very collected mind, a good sense of tranquility and calmness, so our mind isn't as all the time distracted. And it's with that calmer mind that allows us to really watch what's arising and be aware of it, and also understand how impermanent all of those feelings and even those thoughts are. So we begin to learn they're always there. Our mind is always full of those thoughts. And then we learn that most of the time when we aren't meditating, those thoughts have been in charge of us. And meditation is when we begin to learn how to work with our thoughts and work with our mind and our heart, and not let other things be in control of us, but for us to be a little bit, to begin to be aware and begin to notice how many of those thoughts are just distractions, and they can be defilements. And when our mind becomes calm and we're accepting of all that, that's when we can begin to work with it and allow them to eventually drop away. But we have to build up to that. So that's why sitting every day is really important. There may be days when you know your mind is distracted and you're not going to very quickly go into that calm, peaceful place. That's when you really should sit and meditate. That's when you have a lot to be aware of, and just see how that activity is not only not skillful, but it's not comfortable. It doesn't feel good to know that you're darting from one thing to another, or that your thoughts are kind of overwhelming you, or that you're restless because of the way you're thinking. It doesn't feel good to live that way. And so that gives us more motivation to continue to sit. And it's at those difficult times that we need this practice the most. So if we do it every day and make it part of our day, make it a habit, if it can be any time of the day. Sometimes we just need to stop and breathe for a few seconds. And other times we need to stop and sit down, find a quiet place, and spend a little more time with it. And then there may be other times that we've actually been able to have a time in our day when we know that we're going to sit or do walking meditation, or if you're going outside to do gardening, that you've dedicated that space in you to be practicing, so you can be outside with nature or be outside working in your yard, and you can allow yourself to be going inward. So make that time for your practice, because that's where the magic happens. That's where we're learning how to live from moment to moment. And when we can see our mind becoming calmer, and we're able to let go of things and not see those repetitive, habitual thought patterns, we see that life becomes easier to maintain that clarity in our moment-to-moment lives off the cushion. So let's sit. Just let your body be in that posture where you know your body will begin to respond to the posture of your body. And if it knows, it's going to realize this is training time. So if you can, close your eyes. You can be walking, you can be in bed, but we want to stay awake, at least at the beginning. If you use this to help you go to sleep, you can go to sleep more consciously. Just allow yourself to relax and be aware of your body. Be aware of the parts of your body just responding to that calm feeling that you're creating. And you can actually watch yourself fall asleep. Your goal might be to be aware of the last breath you take before you fall asleep. So be aware of the body breathing. This can also be when you feel gratitude for the body. Feel gratitude for this body taking care of us. Doing so many things for us automatically. Be grateful for each breath we take. remembering all of the people in the world who are not able to breathe at this very same moment. Feel compassion as you breathe in and out for each person suffering in the world, suffering to not even be able to take a breath of air. And then we can be filled with joy as we breathe, thinking about the beings who are able to breathe. We have to balance those factors that we see in the world. We see the suffering, we see the pain and the illness and the tragedy, but we have to also be able to see the little joys. And it's being aware of both of these where we can find balance. Stay with your breath. Now be aware of your entire body. Be grateful for the body that you have. Be aware of how it's feeling, what it needs. Now just come back to your breath. Allow your thoughts to come and go. Let's begin with loving kindness. I want to send good thoughts and healing thoughts to friends, but first we begin with ourselves. May I be well. May I feel safe. May I generate kindness and metta towards myself, friendliness. May I generate it within, for myself. And being able to appreciate and accept that tenderness towards myself makes it so much easier to send it out to others. And it's all part of the same process. Generate that feeling of kindness towards yourself and love, friendliness. And then allow it to radiate out, gradually moving it out from closer to you to farther away. And eventually you'll be very comfortable radiating out this quality to the entire universe. We first, after ourselves, we think of those close to us. Think of your loved ones. May they be well. May they feel safe. And I'm thinking of Mary Ann's husband and having a medical procedure today, sending metta to both of them and to all of their loved ones. Think of people you know who are sick. Think of pets or animals that you have in your life who may be sick. Just allow that feeling to go, to extend out, just radiate out from you, that quality of metta, that quality of loving kindness or loving friendliness, or we can think of it as goodwill. From developing it within ourselves and experiencing it, and then we radiate it out. So when we move beyond our loved ones, then we begin to think of all strangers. Sending out the same feeling of metta to all beings, all strangers, all the human beings in this world who are strangers to us. That's the vast majority of all other human beings and creatures. All people in different countries, in different faith traditions, different political orientation, different beliefs, different values. Send out goodwill. There's no need to send out any kind of anger. Send out metta to your enemies. To your difficult people. There's no benefit in sending out anger. Radiating anger is not a thing we practice. Feel the spaciousness in sending this quality out in a boundless direction, there's no ending point. We can radiate it out endlessly and with no limits. And that can open up and create that great spaciousness within us. May all beings, human and non-human, born or being born, be free from suffering and its causes. Be free from fear and worry and anger and anxiety. Be free from hunger and thirst and the extremes of the weather. May all beings be able to care for themselves or be well taken care of by others. And may all beings everywhere be able to live in peace. Now just keep sitting with these thoughts of metta, just being within you and radiating out. Just let them be a quality of your existence. Let other thoughts just come and go. If you're able to sit longer and just allow yourself to feel that metta within you and that feeling of spaciousness as you radiate it out beyond yourself. Feel how it can just open up everything. May everything we do be for the benefit, not only for ourselves, but for all beings everywhere. Thank you so much, and thinking very much of Mary Ann and her husband and her family, and to all others who are suffering, who are going through difficult times, changing times. And we do what we can for those we can help, and we don't get yourself caught up in a cycle of feeling that just your compassion is not enough. Our compassion and our metta practice and our compassion practice are very important. And we can be harmless and not create any other problems or issues. The world has enough. So we do what we can, and we sometimes have to bear witness to the rest. But practice metta, practice joy in your own life, joy for yourselves, but then joy, loving and appreciating joy for others. And all the time working on that balance. Do you see a cat right behind me? This is my daughter has 2 cats, so my son and I are jointly babysitting the cats. And we were wondering if one would get in the camera. That's Louise. Hey Louise, do you want to be on TV? Okay, that's the closest we'll get. We'll get you on Facebook. There you go. Say hi. So Louise and I say hello and goodbye. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.